NE1 can't swim. Now, this is a member of the KBD family himself, and he sent me his joint to check it out, give him a little reaction, and I'm here to do that. And if you want to get your music reacted to, and you're a loyal family member, hit my DMs on Instagram, email me, all that good stuff. Now, let's get it. I love this coming in.
When I'm teaching a student, I'm just chipping away to allow them to explore their potential, and they consistently amaze and sometimes even surprise me. When you have immigrant communities who often are coming from poverty, that these higher functions in society are really the preserve of the middle class. Bro, I'm talking around and I really First of all of this, we cannot stop people being what they are. Some people have creative potential that is stifled. Not everyone's going to be a doctor, not everyone's going to be a biologist, not everyone's going to be a scientist, not everyone's going to be in the corporate mill.
That is some real shit, you know? And it's like the reality of the world that we live in is, in order to enjoy the world in the way we enjoy it, somebody's gotta own the corporations. Somebody's gotta own the Pizza Hut. Somebody's gotta make the dough for the Pizza Hut. They need farmers and they need delivery drivers and they need everything in between. And we need doctors. We need someone to hand you your food at McDonald's. And the reality of the world is, no matter how, we all think we're great, and as we should, and we all are great in our own ways, but the reality of the world is you're going to find yourself into one of these slots. Now, it's up to you as to what slots you get.
I only speak my problems candid if they're asking, and no one's asking, so I'm not barking. Now I'm just stuck in deep thought, like how I'm blessed to still be talking. I got that spark, but I'm barely leaving marks. Though I wanna touch hearts, but I'm caught up in that dark stuff, and I don't talk tough. I'm gliding smooth up on that runway, people puzzled by the footprints left on water. Not bad.
Hold on, that nigga said people puzzled by the footprints left on water. Hold on, because he's from the UK, so his accent, I like how he played into it, used it for the syllable. It's fine, I'm vibing with him. Now, I'm going to respect your hustle, young man. I'm going to respect the fact that you, like, push your music. You're paying for a distro kid or a CD baby or whatever, and you're putting your music out there. You're going out, and whether you're recording your music by yourself or you're paying for studio time. If you are paying for studio time, you need your money back. The mix could get mixed. But as a nigga who used to mix his own songs, I totally understand just getting it to where it's not clipping and putting it out because you feel like you have a voice that needs to be heard. And you do. It's sounding good. You giving it your game, giving your own spin on it. I was reading you. I asked, is there any like things you want me to say in the reaction based off like where you're from, your Instagram, which I got right here. Come on. Because it's N_E_1Z. Come on, Dipper. I knew I was going to forget, so I left it open. And then he also told me he has another single out called, now that's where I fuck up. Say Less, y'all. Come on, say less. I'm out here. But a mix, a better mix is definitely what we need on this bitch.
Spark, but I'm barely leaving marks. Though I wanna touch hearts, but I'm caught up in that dark stuff, and I don't talk tough. I'm gliding smooth up on that runway, people puzzled by the footprints left on water. Not bad for a brother who can't swim, and the hands of the grim wanna pull him in, never felt what they dimmed. My heart beats in an odd rhythm, I can and can't sing.
Cause okay, like right here, that's a production thing. I know you're gonna hear that and be like it's off, or because it is, sounds off. But if that nigga had some auto-tunes on it, like, have you ever, if this guy had an actual producer, and not just auto-tunes, there's definitely other effects or plugins and shit that we could use to clean up this vocals, but like, have you heard Young Thug recording before you hear the song? It's a producer job. So I'm just looking at like formatting of the song and the structure-wise. Now, because you don't have a producer yet, you gotta not rap to what you have, but be realistic to yourself. Either get your ass on YouTube and start watching some tutorials on how to do different things with your voice, or don't use these kind of effects because we're going to run into this problem. But I see your vision, and I'm seeing myself in it. And I'm interested in to see, as you progress, how does the quality of the music progress too, because that's a big part of it.
Try to understand, that's not what I'm asking. Yeah, I'm steady masking all my insecurities with my charred skin.
Man, we're in the 21st century, but still some people are stuck in the 17th.
You doing what? You're masking all your insecurities with your charred skin? Like, I guess, yeah, it sort of makes sense. It's a way to put it, but it does make sense technically, I guess, yeah. But it's a way to put it, my nigga. I wouldn't have worded it like that.
That's not what I'm asking. Yeah, I'm steady masking all my insecurities with my charred skin.
Man, we're in the 21st century, but still some people are
It
stuck in the
works.
17th.
Burnt for trying to follow a dream that weren't for me. Never learned that brown kids weren't supposed to breathe in a world where they receive praise for all that they could be, all they achieve, academic or creatively. Callous hearts aren't pleasing we. Please try to see, don't try deceive. False sentiment or motivation, the tardy believe. Me is me, and he is he.
And it, that's a serious, that's heavy. You know what I mean? You talking about like, you feel like because of the color of your skin, people don't feel like you should be alive, right? And that's facts. That's definite facts. If you've lived in this world with some pigment, you gonna realize motherfuckers don't like that for some reason. And the more and more you got, the more and more they don't like it. It's weird. But that's some real shit. Now, the way you were flowing that in there, just a little choppy, but touch it up. I can tell there's something here. Like if somebody it's good enough to where someone could be interested, become like a fan, and join you on the ride. But you have to give people a ride. You know what I mean? Like real nigga shit. Like eventually I had to buy a camera and microphones and lights and stuff like that. I had to eventually, but nigga, I started in the basement recording off my fucking phone. So like it's fine, but eventually you got keep it going and keep it rocking and keep it talking and just stick with it. Don't give that shit up. Don't be the guy who just got himself a paid reaction. Got himself, you said you were going to be the BBC brown art or Asian art. What race are you, nigga? Now that I think about it. He got to be like, Philip, what are you? I'm trying to figure it out.
Why can't they see this game of Snap or Blackjack shows us as trophies, but trust there's no fee for a child that deserves LOVE. Head over heels for titles they weren't entitled to seek. Future was bleak, not a good enough excuse to break the team. Pushing far enough, you'll make a meme.
Each one of us is a ball.
That's a weird little growl. I wouldn't do that either. That's just not very sonically pleasing, but like what you wanted was pinging, and what you wanted with me, like with auto-tunes, that shit would have sounded cool. With a little Melodyne, that shit would have sounded cool. So like, nigga, I want to say this right now for anybody watching. If we do another song by him in the future that is where he's just going to be rapping, not using his voice at all, but really I wouldn't even want that, just where he got better production on it, I bet you if you don't see what I'm saying right here, you'd see it. It's just little things, because nigga, sometimes I be writing songs like I'm fucking Whitney Houston. Like I can really, and we belong together, baby. Like I can do that. Like, but just like in your head as an artist, you just feel it in your soul. So I feel it. But like, bro, invest in this production. I know I'm harping on it, but you're doing a lot of things that production this is what it's here for.
Good enough excuse to break the team. Pushing far enough, you'll make a meme.
Each one of us is a ball of creative energy. If you want to be reminded of that reality, look towards a child who's yet to be conformed or constrained by social conformity. They are creative. They come up with wonderful, new and interesting solutions and do creatively destructive and destructively creative things all the time.
They do creatively destructive and destructively creative things all the time. That's true. Like, your sample on this bitch is fire. Especially the second one is a little quieter. The first one is a little too loud, but this one is fire. And I think it's really fitting in what you're talking about. And like the vibe of the song and what he's saying is fire. Because, yeah, I think that the world, like the school system is prepping you to sort of be like an office worker, right? sit here 8 hours, somebody comes in, tells you what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, hands you your prompts, you do your best at them, try to stay focused, you use little things to keep energy, you eat every couple hours and shit, you talk to your friends, and then you go home, right? But for those of us whose careers don't align with that, there's certain things that school might have taught us that you can't really do with it, right? But there's a lot of benefits to going to school. Everybody go to school. That's not what I'm saying here. But there is a way that it takes all our color and just makes it sort of gray. And like they tell a kid who's jumping and dancing around the classroom that he has ADHD. But like, what if you put that kid in dance class? Then that medicine you're giving him that's making him calmer would then he couldn't dance. What if the kid is a fucking tap dancer? What if his soul just longs to tap dance and you've now drugged him and so he can't tap dance. He's like a zombie and shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, we dim our lights. Or maybe they don't go to that extreme, but they tell him, don't dance, sit down. It's attention seeking. It's all those things that they teach us. They tell us those words. They tell us that for those of us who want to be artists, we should find a plan B and a backup plan. But that's fucked up. That's fucked up. You're already casting a little spell of disbelief in my shit immediately. That's fucked up. It is. It's very messed up to tell a kid he should have a plan B. Why? If you're doing anything other than sports where the selection of it isn't up to you, you don't need a plan B. You should only look at a plan A, and that if you have a plan B, that means you're inviting the spirit of failure. No plan B, nigga. I told myself I was going to be a rapper with a talk show. Now I don't got a talk show, but TV ain't what TV used to be. I'd much rather in 2023 be on the internet than be on the TV. And I'm a rapper, so I took a very roundabout way of getting here, but I got here. I'm doing what I want to do. So you just don't give yourself a plan B, because there's a lot of times where this shit didn't work, and there's a lot of times where this wasn't a full-time career, and I couldn't do shit with any of these things. And the fact that I talk a lot, or like I pay attention to weird details and I hyper fixate on them, and I get super excited and involved in the words that I'm saying, that used to be a hindrance to me. You know what it'd be like trying to sit in a fucking geometry classroom with me? It's hard. But I didn't get my light dimmed because I always knew this was my only other choice. Everybody else, they might need that to work in an office. You can't act like this. That's not how I'm planning to do it.
And it's such a source of joy for us.
Feeling kinda distant, dopamine is instant. Cradle a feeling of satisfaction like an infant. Flinching whenever I feel it could go missing. This silence only echoes all the violence. Maybe if we were taught to speak, we wouldn't have to express ourselves out on the street. I mean, we didn't.
You got a little offbeat. You got offbeat right there. And that's if you're making music now, because you're at the point where you're getting seen and people are, you know, and it's slow but steady. You know, this video will be on this channel forever. So if nothing else, as I grow, this video will grow, right? So just take that. One day, God willing, this channel will have 1 million subscribers, and you will then be on it. This song will be on. You finessed your way in here for a very good price. One day it'll be here. So just remember that when you're recording, that you're talking to 1 million people. One day your platform will have 1 million people and all that shit. I'm not saying this is the grand audience, BBC, all these things, millions of people. So little things like when you go off beat, do not be lazy in the studio. Go re-record it. It's one sentence. You could always just record that sentence and chop those words and put it in there, but don't give us that. You know what I mean? Because it show us you care. Show us you give a fuck.
Could go missing. This silence only echoes all the violence. Maybe if we were taught to speak, we wouldn't have to express ourselves out on the street. I mean,
we wouldn't have to express ourselves. Then you will pause there because you filled an awkward syllable sound. So now, like, express ourselves. You should have just said it regularly. Express ourselves. Pause, because you can do that in rap. You were running like four syllable rhyme, and then express our. Maybe you shouldn't express ourselves, because of how it's worded. It's like 3 syllables. Just space it and then come back in. Maybe I have to express ourselves. out on the streets. You would have been able to pick right back up in there.
We didn't get to choose, you wanted the juice. Didn't realize you'd have to go look after the fruit. So through and through, you wanted to up and move. Couldn't pay the time for a crime you couldn't prove.
And right there, like, couldn't pay the time and do that more too. Like, where you're like really throwing your voice and like getting into what you're saying. Do that, because that's good.
I'm tall enough to reach the counter without a stool. Old enough to go through mental abuse. Comparisons, always so damaging. Look at so-and-so, they seem to be managing. Don't be so depressed, you ain't lived half the stress I had to be handling. Be a man, don't think about abandoning. Oh fam, it's the culture I was stranded in. It's the culture I was stranded in. Not bad for a brother who can't swim and the hands of the grim. Wanna pull them in, never felt what they did.
Now, I will say you have 2 samples on a song. 3 minutes, 54 seconds is a pretty long song with samples. And if you're going to have a song that long, don't just let the beat ride out and that bitch. Because we could have been at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I'd be cool with it. But let's make sure it's something else. I had a feeling. Yeah, you can always tell the beat's not just right out. I was a certified vibe check. Another reaction by me right here. Ping music video by me right there. About click on it. Show me some love. And go check out my homie N_E_1Z. Oh, I don't even follow this nigga. Let me follow him. I'm on bullshit. Wait, did he ain't even follow me, motherfucker? Oh, that was a certified vibe check. I'm out. Stuff gone.